Hello, welcome back to my channel Awesome Learning. And today, in the chapter Molecular Basis of Inheritance, a small video first about the Chargaff's rule and the pairing of purines and pyrimidines, because sometimes few numericals, very easy numericals, but still students do a lot of mistake in such kind of questions. So few Chargaff rule will be explained so that you can easily solve this numerical. Okay children, so let's begin. Already you know all these things, so I won't take a lot of time discussing them because I have to add few important things which will be helpful for you to solve these numericals. Children, pairing of nitrogenous bases, all of you know how the nitrogenous bases are paired. There are two types of nitrogenous base, purines and pyrimidines, and we also know that purines are 9-ring structure, pyrimidines are 6-ring structure I have made, and these two are paired together. If this is a DNA sequence, then these are phased in front of each other. They are paired like this. We also know that A and let me show you just by removing it from here. Yeah, we also know that A can be paired with T by using double bonds, which is a hydrogen bond, and G can be paired with C by triple bond. Again, it is a hydrogen bond, and these hydrogen bonds provide stability to the DNA. This we have already done. Now suppose let us take a sequence, DNA sequence, which is having only 10 base pairs. Suppose this is my DNA sequence which I have taken, and it is having 10 base pairs. Okay, then if the base pairs are 10, then how many bases it has? 20. 10 purine and 10 pyrimidine. So total number of bases will be 20. Now children, Chargaff's rule says that number of purines are always equal to number of pyrimidines, which we have done. Children, Chargaff rule is applicable to only double-stranded DNA. Chargaff rule is applicable to double-stranded DNA. It is not applicable for RNA because RNA is single-stranded. Because the rule says that number of purines are equal to number of pyrimidines, and this is possible only if there are two strands where one will have purine and the other one will have the pyrimidine. So Chargaff rule is not applicable for RNA because RNA is single-stranded. Okay, then suppose there are 10 base pairs. Okay, so let's take that there are two strands of DNA and they are having 10 base pairs. So if there are 10 base pairs, that means there are 10 purines and 10 pyrimidines, right? Okay, so those 10 purines, if there are 10 purines, then these purines could be either adenine or it could be guanine. Similarly, if there are 10 pyrimidines, then those 10 pyrimidines will be, few will be thymine and other few will be cytosine. These two will combine together to form 10 pyrimidines, and these two will combine together to form 10 purines, right? But, and we also know that amount of adenine will be equal to the amount of thymine according to the Chargaff rule. Similarly, amount of guanine will be equal to the amount of cytosine. But children, it is not necessary that if there are 10 purines, then it's not necessary that out of 10 purines, 5 will be adenine and 5 will be guanine. It's not necessary. ऐसा नहीं है कि 10 प्यूरिन या जितने भी प्यूरिन्स हैं तो उसका 50% एडेनिन होगा और 50% गुआनिन होगा, ऐसा नहीं है, ठीक है? अगर ऐसा होता तो सारे ऑर्गेनिजम्स के अंदर सिमिलर जेनेटिक कोडिंग हो जाती, सिमिलर बेस पेयरिंग हो जाती. तो अगर 10 प्यूरिन्स हैं, इफ़ देर आर 10 प्यूरिन्स, ऐसा हो सकता है कि देर विल बी 2 एडेनाइन एंड 8 गुआनिन. सो टोटल हो गए 10. 2 एडेनाइन हो सकते हैं और 8 गुआनिन हो सकते हैं. और ये जो 2 एडेनाइन हैं, इफ़ एडेनाइन आर 2, देन थाइमिन विल ऑल्सो बी 2. इफ़ गुआनिन आर 8, देन साइटोसिन विल ऑल्सो बी 8. Okay, so this is about the Chargaff rule, and just what kind of questions can come to you. I have given you this numerical. You see, in a DNA, thymine is 30%. So you have to calculate the percentage of guanine. So thymine is 30%. What will be the percentage of guanine? And children, whenever I ask this question, children immediately without thinking they give me the answer that 70% will be guanine, which is wrong. Now you have to, how you have to work out this, children, remember that the DNA, nitrogenous base are divided, so 50% are purines and other 50% are pyrimidines. Okay, 50% are purines and other 50% are pyrimidines, and they have said that thymine, and purines are A and G and pyrimidines are T and C, and they have said that thymine is 30%. So out of 50, if thymine is 30%, so how much is cytosine left with? 20%. And we know that A and T are equal. If T is 30%, then A will also be 30%. And if C is 20%, then G will also be 20%. So what was my question? Calculate the percentage of guanine. So the answer will be guanine are how much? 20%. So this is how you have to solve. Understood? So it is easy, very easy, but this should click into your mind that the nitrogenous base are 50-50. Okay, then children, if this is the case, we can write this first rule in this manner. Can I write the first rule in this manner? What is this? They are saying now purines and pyrimidines can be equal to 1. Now what are purine? A plus G are total purines, which is 50%, and T plus C are total pyrimidines, again which is 50%. So if I cancel them, what am I getting? 1. So yes, this formula is quite right. This is the first rule of Chargaff, which can be written in this manner. Okay, A plus G is equal upon T plus C is equal to 1. Now rule number 2 says amount of adenine is not equal to amount of guanine. I just showed you here that it's not necessary कि जितना एडेनिन है उतना ही गुआनिन है ना. मैंने बोला ना कि हो सकता है कि 2 हो एडेनिन तो 8 है गुआनिन. So what are we saying? Adenine is not equal to guanine. It's not necessary that A is equal to G. See here, A is equal to G, and similarly it's not necessary that T is equal to C. Right? So what can I write? Can we write this that A plus T upon G plus C is not equal to 1? Because A plus T will be 2 plus 2, that is 4, and G plus C will be 8 plus 8, that is 16, which will be 16. So am I getting the answer 1? Do I get answer as 1? No. So this is also correct. So rule number 2 can be written in this manner. But children, this rule, I will just highlight it with another color. This rule, okay, is applicable to single species. That means this rule 4/16, ये possibility हो सकती है किसी भी species की. हो सकता है कि किसी भी स्पीशीज़ में 4 प्यूरिन्स हो और 16 एडेनिन्स पायरिमिडीन्स हो. ऐसा हो सकता है किसी एक सिंगल स्पीशीज़ में. तो उस स्पीशीज़ के लिए ये रूल एप्लीकेबल है ना. ऐसा हो सकता है किसी भी स्पीशीज़ में, ह्यूमंस में हो सकता है कि प्यूरिन्स जो है वो 25% हो और बाकी के पायरिमिडीन 75% हो. ये किसी भी स्पीशीज़ में हो सकता है. तो ये उस पर्टिकुलर सिंगल स्पीशीज़ का रूल हो सकता है, बट ये सबके लिए पॉसिबल नहीं है. पर जो रूल नंबर 1 है, दैट इज़ एप्लीकेबल फॉर ऑल द स्पीशीज़. So this was about the Chargaff rules and about the numericals which can come, 1 markers or 2 markers can come from this topic. Now in the next video we will be doing DNA